So, good morning once again, dear students of class 9, and let us today finish up with scene 9 of Act 2, which we were doing in our last video tutorial. So, on your screen, once again, you can see the prince here is in conversation with Portia, and let's see what he goes on to say further. So I'm scrolling up to page 77. We had finished till the end of page 76 in your textbook, and today we will begin from page 77. So here on your screen you can see page 77, Act 2, Scene 9, and the prince continues saying that because I will not jump with common spirits and rank me with the barbarous multitudes. He says that I am not going to move along with common men, common people, and I will not bring myself down to the rank of the ignorant and foolish people, that is the barbarous multitudes. Multitudes means crowd or big mass of people. So he says that I am not going to rank myself with them. Why then to thee, thou silver treasure house, tell me once more what title thou dost bear. So we are dealing with the Prince of Aragon, and he refuses to choose the gold casket. He says that I am not going to move with the crowd and I am not going to select something which the crowd prefers selecting. So let me once again move towards the silver casket or the box made of silver, and let's see what the silver casket is saying. Once again, let me read it. And he reads, on the silver casket is inscribed these words, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. So the one who chooses me will get whatever he deserves. So as much as he deserves, he is going to get only that much. And well said too, he says, well, that is said very, very well. For who shall go about to cause an fortune? Because who can go about cheating fortune? Because whatever you deserve comes to you according to what is written in your fate or fortune. So you cannot cheat fortune. So if it is written in your fate that you are going to get something, you will get it. If it is not written, then no matter how much you try, you won't get it. So who has ever been able to cheat fortune and be honorable without the stamp of merit? So there cannot be anyone who can pretend to be dignified. The meanings are given alongside. You can see, I am reading out from there. You can follow as I read. Pretend to be dignified when he cannot show that he is worthy of such dignity. So without the stamp, without the real imprint or quality of dignity, nobody can simply assume dignity. So let none presumed to wear an undeserved dignity. So I wish that no one pretends to wear a dignity which he does not deserve. Oh, that estates, degrees and offices were not derived corruptly. So what he means to say is that social rankings such as lordships, knighthoods, degrees are posts of honor in a hierarchy. An earl is superior to viscount and viscount is superior to a baron. So I really wish that such degrees, such posts of honor were not obtained by dishonest means. Derived corruptly means not obtained by dishonest means. So that is what he means to say, that I wish that in this world people did not assume undeserved dignity and that different positions of honor or posts of honor were not obtained by people by adopting some dishonest or unfair means. So then he says, and that clear honor were purchased by the merit of the wearer. Meaning to say that honor which is truly deserved by a person, something which is unblemished without any spot or black mark, such honor should be coming to a person who really deserves it, because he does not have any kind of spot in his character. So unblemished means spotless. The wearer here refers to the one who holds the titles. So reference is to the custom according to which members of different ranks wore distinctive robes. So in those times, in Shakespeare's time, or for that matter, during that time when we can presume that Portia and Aragon were living, there was this custom of dressing up differently according to the different ranks that the person happened to hold in the society. So he says that I wish that the world changes into something very proper, where people who truly deserve honor should wear such clothes of honor, so that people know who they are and consider them as honorable people. So that is what he says. And then he says, how many then should cover that stand bare? If true honor should be the criteria to classify people in the society, oh, then how many people among us would cover who are now standing without their heads covered? Meaning to say, a dignified gentleman in those times, see again the reference is given here, to remain covered is to show superiority of rank. That means keeping their heads covered with a cap or a hat. So the hat wearers were dignified people, therefore they did not have to remove the hat. Others would remove their hats to show respect to the person who would continue to wear the hat. So a person holding a high rank did not have to remove his hat. So that is what he is saying, that how many then, if true honor should be taken into account and should be going to the one who deserves it, then how many would actually cover their heads who are now standing bare? Because dishonestly, some people who don't deserve to be honorable are wearing the hat, and the ones who deserve to be honorable have to be their subordinates, and so they have to remove their hats and stand bare. How many be commanded that command? Now at present the society is such that there are many who are holding the positions of higher ranks and hierarchy, and they are commanding people who are below them, under them. But if we truly make an assessment, we'll find that many of these people who are now commanding will actually be commanded by the ones who are being commanded. So this is what he is trying to mean. And then he's saying, how much low peasantry would then be gleaned from the true seed of honor? So he says that from the true seed of honor, how much peasantry, how many of those who belong to the lower class or the peasant class could be picked out from the true sons of the nobility. So if you consider the so-called nobles, you will find that many are there who don't deserve to be called nobles. They actually deserve to become peasants. And then there are people who are considered to be peasants, but they actually have some noble background and some kind of nobility of character, so they should be holding the higher ranks. And how much honor picked from the chaff and ruin of the times to be new varnished. So how many truly honorable, how many of such people who are truly honorable, they could be sorted out from the modern rubbish to give its original splendor. Meaning to say, right now these people who are being treated as ordinary people or are subdued by the upper class people, they actually deserve to be more honorable, and they should be commanding more respect, and they should be therefore newly polished and brought back to their actual glory, instead of allowing them to continue in such a mundane or such a lowly manner. These people should actually receive some sort of upliftment, and they should be brought up to the higher ranks in the society. That's what he means. And then he says, well, but to my choice. Well, now let me move towards my choice. And we come to the next page, page 78. He says, who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. So I will assume desert, meaning to say, I will claim to be deserving. I will choose this casket. He chooses the silver casket. He says that I think this is the right casket, and I am going to get as much as I deserve because I think that I deserve Portia. So let me claim to be deserving. And then he asks for the key. He says, I'll assume desert, give me a key to this and instantly unlock my fortunes here. So let me unlock this box, and with the unlocking of this box, my fortune will also be unlocked. So he opens the silver casket. The key is provided to him. Either Portia or maybe a servant hands over the key to the silver casket, and the Prince of Aragon opens the silver casket. Now, when he opens it, after opening, he is not saying anything. He is stunned, he is silent, he is standing like a statue looking at the contents of the box. The box is open before him, and what he has found inside, he's gazing at it and is not saying anything. So Portia speaks up. There is a pause. So Portia speaks up, observing this, and says, "Too long a pause for that which you find there. You are taking too much of time. You are pausing for a very long time before revealing to us what you have found inside the box. So tell us, what did you find?" Aragon says, "What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot. What did I find in this box? Oh my goodness, it is the portrait or the picture of an idiot or a fool or a clown who is blinking at me." So here there are two interpretations of this portrait of a blinking idiot. Some critics of Shakespeare say that it is really the portrait of a clown or a joker which he finds inside the silver box, and some of the analysts and critics of Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice, they say that no, he did not find any portrait. He actually found a mirror inside it, and when he looks at the mirror, he sees his own reflection, and he blinks his own eyes and he sees the image in the mirror blinking back at him. So he's probably looking at his own face. So there are two interpretations. Now, whatever be the case, one thing is for certain, that he has not found the portrait of Portia inside this box. So he says, "What's here? The portrait of a blinking idiot, presenting me a schedule." So this blinking idiot is presenting to me a scroll. Just as earlier we have seen the Prince of Morocco finding a scroll or a rolled up piece of paper in the golden casket, in the same way he finds another such scroll inside this silver casket along with the portrait of the blinking fool. "I will read it, and how much unlike art thou to Portia." So I'm going to read this scroll, and really you are so unlike Portia. I didn't expect to find you inside this box. Anyway, I'll read it. And then he says, "How much unlike my hopes and my deservings." So you are how much unlike, or not at all matching with what I hoped, what I desired, or thought I desired, or rather deserved. So then he says, "Who chooseth me shall have as much as he deserves." And then he says, "Did I deserve no more than a fool's head? Did I deserve this? Did I deserve nothing more than the portrait of a fool? Is that my price? Is that my reward? Are my deserts no better? Are my deservings no better?" Deserts means deservings. So do I not deserve anything better than this? Portia says, "To offend and judge are distinct offices and of opposed natures." So offending is one thing and judging is another. These two are completely different activities. You see, the one who offends cannot be the judge of such offense. People will judge. The ones who are observing the person will be the judge. So you cannot first of all offend and then become your own judge. So you make a mistake, that is, you have chosen the wrong box, so that is an offense on your part, and then you are judging whether your deservings are better or worse, which you are not supposed to, because it was your choice in the first place. So now don't make judgment, now don't try to analyze. So this is what Portia comments. So after this, Aragon starts reading what is here, and he reads, "The fire 7 times tried this, 7 times tried that judgment is, that did never choose amiss. Some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. There be fools alive, I wis, silvered over, and so was this. I will ever be your head, so begone you are sped." So, silver is generally purified 7 times in a furnace before it becomes perfect for making things, out of it. Similarly, perfect judgment that never makes a mistake is also tested 7 times, just like the 7 times refined silver. So, meaning is explained alongside. Any judgment which cannot make any mistake is a judgment which has been made on the basis of having tested it or tried it out 7 times. So that's what he says, that 7 times tried that judgment is, that did never choose amiss. All these are explained alongside. So if you read side by side, when you read the lines, you will be able to understand. And then he says, or rather, then it is written in that scroll, some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. Meaning to say, there are some people who embrace illusions or who run after things which are not really true. And so, what do they get? They only get the bliss or the happiness provided by those illusions. Bliss means blessings. So, if you are running after a shadow, if you are running or chasing after an illusion which is something unrealistic, then in the end what you get is nothing but the happiness derived of that unrealistic thing. So you cannot get the happiness of deriving something real. If you want to derive something real, your judgment has to be tested 7 times. And then he says, or rather then the scroll says, there be fools alive, I wish, silvered over, and so was this. I wish means surely, certainly. So there are fools alive in this world. The world is full of fools. And in those times, the fools, actually, the official clowns or fools, painted their faces silver. So that is one purpose why it has been written this as silvered over. So the next line says, some there be that shadows kiss, such have but a shadow's bliss. There are some people who kiss the illusion. Shadows are illusions. That means they chase after illusions. They embrace illusions and believe in what is not. As a result, what they get is only the happiness provided by that illusion. They can never be genuinely happy because they can never achieve something which is real. There be fools alive, I wish. And I am very certain that there are, I wish means I am certain, there are fools alive in this world even today. And they are all painted silver. And so was this. This box is also made of silver. Silver is something which is related to old age. There are some foolish people who are disguised by the silvery hair of old age. So if you see them, if they have silvery hair or grey hair, as it is commonly called, you may think that they are wise because they have grey hair or silvery hair, but they are actually fools. So also was this casket. It was silver in color and you mistook it for the right casket. So you made a mistake. So appearances can be deceptive, and that's exactly what has happened here. I will ever be your head, so be gone, you are sped. So from now on, I am going to be your head. That means you are going to be the fool. From now on, people will consider you to be the fool from now on. So be gone as per the terms and conditions of this lottery of the caskets. If you choose wrongly, you must go away at once. So you are sped, meaning to say you are over. Your chances are over. You are finished. Now you should go. So we come to page 79 after this. After reading out from the scroll, Prince of Morocco says, or rather Prince of Aragon says, still more fool I shall appear by the time I linger here. With one fool's head I came to woo, but I go away with two. So if I stay here any longer, I shall only look more of a fool. So I came here as a fool and now I depart as a double fool. I came with one foolish head and now I am going away with two foolish heads, one of my own and the other which I found in this casket. So I am doubly foolish, that is proved beyond doubt, so I need to go. Sweet adieu, sweet Portia, therefore goodbye to you. I'll keep my oath patiently to bear my wrath. So I will patiently suffer my feelings. Okay, I will patiently suffer my feelings of resentment and misfortune. I will keep the promise that I have made before I took part in this lottery of the caskets, that if I choose wrongly, I must go away at once. So, Portia, I am leaving. Saying this, he leaves with his train. Train means his followers, the rest of the people who are with the Prince of Aragon. Now, Portia says, thus hath the candle singed the moth. So, this is how the burning flame of a candle has burnt the wings of a moth which came too close to it. Oh, these deliberate fools, when they do choose, they have the wisdom by their wit to lose. Meaning is explained here alongside fools who have possible reasons for their actions. The right choice does not depend on reasoning but on instinct. In this case, it is love, which should have been prepared to hazard all he had. So he made a big mistake. He decided to choose using his instinct rather than his wisdom. He did not make good use of his brain and did not think wisely before making his choice, and that's the reason he failed. Nerissa says, the ancient saying is no heresy. So that ancient saying, which we have all heard, it's not a false teaching or preaching. What is it? Hanging and wiving goes by destiny. That is, death by hanging and marriage. These are controlled and governed by destiny of a person. So, if it is written in your destiny, then no matter how good a person you are, you will be hanged to death. Your life will come to an end. And if it is written in your destiny, only then will you get married, because there are many people who, in spite of the fact that they are eligible, they are perfect in every way possible, they don't get married because they simply cannot find the right match for themselves. So marriages, as they say, are made in heaven, and it's something related to destiny. Not everyone is lucky, fortunate to get married and to have a good wife. So hanging and wiving goes by destiny, says Nerissa. Portia says, come, draw the curtain, Nerissa. Yes, now let's close this chapter. Draw the curtains once again. We have to wait for the next suitor. So Nerissa, do it. And just as they finish off, enter a servant. A servant enters and the servant says, where is my lady? Where is my mistress, my lady? And Portia jokingly responds, here, what would my lord? So what is it that you want, my lord? Servant says, madam, there is alighted at your gate a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensible regrets, to wit, besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. So here at your gate has dismounted from his horse a young Venetian. A young Venetian has arrived as a messenger, the one who comes before, that is, a messenger who arrives before the arrival of a person of dignity, to signify the approaching of his lord. He has come here to announce that his master will be arriving here very soon. And from his master he has brought, he bringeth means he has brought sensible regrets, that means substantial, that is not only in terms of words but also in terms of material gifts. He has brought gifts from his master for you, in other words. To wit, besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. So he has brought all these things. That is to say, he has brought compliments, and apart from words, he has also brought with him gifts of value, very, very valuable gifts. Yet I have not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet, to show how costly summer was at hand, as this four-spurrer comes before his lord. So now, this servant, he is a little too outspoken, and he starts, talking in a romantic manner, and he says that I have never seen such an ambassador of love. Now, the reason is simple. William Shakespeare introduces this type of dialogue here because now we are through with the Prince of Morocco, we are through with the Prince of Aragon. So, two caskets gone, we have only the lead casket, still not chosen by any of the suitors. And who should be arriving now? It is high time now that Bassanio should be arriving in Belmont and should be choosing the lead casket. So that's the whole purpose behind such dialogues. And that is why this man, he too knows very well. In fact, everybody knows in Belmont, all the servants of Portia, they know quite well that Portia loves Bassanio. And when the young Venetian messenger has arrived from Venice, sent by Bassanio, with the news and the gifts that he has brought from Bassanio for Portia, of course, this servant of Portia also becomes romantic and he says all these words. He says, I have never seen such an ambassador or messenger of love. A day in April, he goes on to talk about April. April is the season, April is the month which signifies the approach of the season of spring. Now, in England, winters are very harsh, and so people look forward to having the spring season when the sun starts coming out, the sky clears up, blue skies can be seen, and beautiful birds can be heard, and the flowers start budding and blooming. So, spring is actually the most desired season in England, and that's why he gives the comparison of April here. So, a day in April never came so sweet, to show how costly summer was at hand. How gorgeous. Costly here means gorgeous or wealthy. Referring to nature's splendor in the summer season. Spring is followed by summer. In spring, the buds and the tiny little green leaves appear, and when it is summer, it is time for the ripening of the fruits, and it's also time for the maturity of the grains, and it is also the time for having the best time of the year because of the warmth of the sun and because of the completeness of a bounteous nature. So that's the reason he says that this man is just like a day in April, which signifies the approach of spring, and such a spring which will lead on to a beautiful summer. And summer is none other but Bassanio. So that is what he tries to compare here, and he says that this four-spurrer comes before his lord in the same manner. This four-spurrer means the forerunner or the herald or the messenger or the one who spurs his horse or rides in advance of the main party or the main person. Portia says, no more, I pray thee, I am half afeared, thou wilt say anon, he is some kin to thee. Please don't continue speaking like this anymore. I request you, because I am already half afraid that very soon you will say that you are related, you are in relation with this particular messenger from Venice. So you will say that you are related to him. Thou spendest such high day wit in praising him. Meaning to say, you are using so much of holiday humor. You know, in times of free, when you are free or enjoying your holiday, you want fun and frolic. So this same way, this man, the servant of Portia, is talking to her, and that's why she is saying to him that you are utilizing some kind of holiday humor to entertain me. Come, come, Nerissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's post that comes so mannerly. Come, come, Nerissa, let's go and see. I am already desperate to see this messenger of love. Cupid is the classical god of love. So Cupid's post is the messenger of Cupid or the messenger of love. So because Portia loves Bassanio, and Bassanio's messenger therefore becomes messenger of love. So I am desperate to see this messenger of love who has come in such a mannerly fashion. Nerissa says, Bassanio, Lord love, if thy will it be. So I think it is Bassanio whom you love. He has probably sent this messenger. he is your love, if thy will it be. That means, I hope it is your will that it is Bassanio, O God of love. So Nerissa also understands, just as the other servant also understood, that Portia loves Bassanio, and therefore Nerissa says these words. And we know that Nerissa knows, because earlier also they were discussing about Bassanio. So with that, they leave the scene. The scene comes to an end. We have finished with Act 2, Scene 9. So if you have any confusion, you can read the side notes and you can once again go through my explanations. So that's the end of this video tutorial. Thank you very much.